Hey there guys, what is going on? Today we are doing another video on the 5 best class setups in Cold War right now, and this includes the 5 best guns. Now normally we do these videos out of order, we actually do them in class setup order, so assault rifles, SMGs and so on. But these are going to be in order from what I think is the 5th best weapon in the game to the number 1 weapon in the game as of the most recent patch, which did see the bullet velocity get increased on the AK47 for some reason. Spoiler alert, that's on this list. Anyway, just before we do get into the top 5 best guns in Cold War right now, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I massively appreciate it. It really does help me out. We are only looking for about 210 subscribers for 5,000, so if you could help me achieve that goal, that would be absolutely massive for me. But let's talk about the 5 best guns in Cold War right now as of the most recent balance patch. In the number 5 slot here, we do have one of the most popular weapons in the game at the moment, which is the sledgehammer. No, of course, I am joking. It is the AK74u. This thing is an absolute powerhouse up close and does feature a very, very fast time to kill. I think it's almost about 250, 260 milliseconds up close. And that distance does go out to about 11 meters or so, so you're getting a lightning fast time to kill up close. Outside of those distances, it can be a little tough to get those kills sometimes, as the time to kill does drop off quite dramatically after those 11 meters. But with this particular class setup, you are going to absolutely shred people up close, especially if you are landing those headshots. This thing deletes people. You get a 3-shot kill if you are getting 2 headshots, which is absolutely insane for this game. Our attachments on the AK74u do look something like this. This is what we want to go with here. Start off with that Spetsnaz compensator for a 12% increase to our vertical recoil control. This does help keep our shots down and sort of negate some of the recoil that we do get from, of course, our barrel, which is the task force option. Again, this does give us the ability to get that 3-shot kill. If we do land 2 headshots and a body shot, that is a 3-shot kill. That is absolutely lightning fast. This also increases our effective damage range out to that about 11 meters or so, which is very, very important for this particular weapon to get the most out of it. You do need that extra damage range, as well as a bullet velocity of 670 meters per second, which is sort of close to assault rifle values at the moment, which is quite powerful. Then we move to the underbarrel. This is the Spetsnaz speed grip for a 3% increase to our sprinting movement speed. This allows us to move around the map slightly more quickly. And then an 18% increase to that horizontal recoil control does keep that recoil down again that we do get from the task force barrel. Moving to the handle here, we do have the serpent wrap for a 25% increase to our aim down sight speed. The reason we haven't chosen the Groot elastic wrap here is because this does actually reduce our shooting movement speed and our sprint to fire speed quite significantly here. And up close, those are some of the most important statistics that you can get. So you want to be moving around as fast as possible when you are shooting and aiming down sight. So keep that in mind here with this attachment choice, but you can take the Groot elastic wrap if you do prefer that. And then lastly, we finish this off with the KGB skeletal stock for a 30% increase to our sprint to fire speed, as well as 10% aim walking movement speed. Now, if you are playing on a larger playlist like 12v12, you might feel like you need more ammo, so you can take off the KGB skeletal stock and we move to a magazine, and you can take something here to fit your playstyle. If you don't want to reduce your aim down sight speed too much, you can take something like a 40 round drum mag or a Groot mag clamp, but this is up to you. If you feel like you need more bullets, feel free to take this slot here. In the rest of the class setup, you can take your very powerful secondary option depending on what you do want to choose. This is up to you. You can take the stim shot or whatever your preferred option is in the tactical slot as well, in terms of like a stun grenade, etc. Then the lethal, you can take like a frag, C4, Semtex, whatever you prefer again in this slot. Very, very simple choices that are all about personal preference. In the field upgrade slot, there are very powerful options here. Again, the jammer is one of them. The field microphone, pretty much all these options will do a specific job for you, and they're all super strong. Then the wildcard, of course, this is a 5 attachment class setup, so we only need perk greed here. We only need those 6 perks. We don't need 8 attachments. And the perks are Flak Jacket, Forward Intel, Assassin, Scavenger, Ninja, and Ghost here. So keep those in mind. You can choose, again, all these different options that you prefer. But the AK-74u is definitely one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and in my opinion, it's the 5th best weapon in Cold War as of the most recent balance patch. In the 4th slot, we do have the Fara 83. Now, this is a weapon that has dropped off a little bit as my opinion of some of the other weapons on this list has increased. This has sort of dropped off a little bit. It's still very, very powerful, and it did actually increase some of the stats here. We do have a 1.4 times headshot multiplier now, which gets us very fast kills if we do land those headshots, as well as a very, very fast bullet velocity, perfect for extra hit detection here. I think we get a bullet velocity of like 1450 meters per second, which is absolutely ridiculous here. Again, you can take your personal secondary choice of like the Amatis, whatever, shotgun. You can take whatever you like here. Again, tactical is the stim shot. For us, you can take this option to continue your gunfight. It's really important. Then the lethal in the Semtex slot, you can take this whatever you prefer. Again, this is up to you. And then the field upgrade, similar to this, you can take a jam, a field microphone, trophy system, whatever you do prefer, whatever your game mode you're playing on, whatever will help you the most. Then the gunfighter, we do have 8 attachments on this class setup. Perk greed versus gunfighter, that's up to you, but I feel like with this, we do need 8 attachments on this thing, and flak jacket and scavenger and ninja for our perks. Then the rest of the attachments on the Fara 83 are going to be as follows. This is going to be a little bit of a mouthful here. So the optic we're going to start off with this is the Microflex LED. This does give us a very clear side picture here, allowing us to see and hit most targets very easily. Then we move to the muzzle for a 12% increase to our vertical recoil control from the Spetsnaz compensator. This is a nice option to keep that recoil control down. Then the Barrel Liberator option for a 100% increase to our bullet velocity. Keep in mind this does give us 1458 meters per second of bullet velocity, which is fantastic for hit detection, as I already mentioned. Moving to the body slot, we do take the KGB target designator here. This does give us 60% increase to our reveal distance, meaning when we do aim down sight, we actually get those little red dots that appear on people, making them slightly easy to see, which is a nice option. Then the underbarrel, we do take again the Spetsnaz speed grip for a 5% increase to our sprinting movement speed, as well as 15% increase to our horizontal recoil control, keeping those shots on target. The Fara 83 doesn't have much recoil as it is, and this is really nice here. Again, the magazine, we do take 40 round mag here, but you can switch this out if you want more bullets. That is up to you. I personally like the 40 round mags because it does not reduce our aim down sight speed. Then the handle, Serpent Wrap again, 25% increase to that aim down sight speed is really nice for getting those sights up nice and quickly. And then the KGB skeletal stock for a 30% increase to that sprint to fire speed and 40% aim walking movement speed is a really nice way to round out this class setup here. So again, the Fara 83 is a very accurate, very powerful assault rifle with a 1.4 times headshot multiplier and absolutely ridiculous bullet velocity in this game. Absolutely perfect for hit detection and those longer range combat. There's a really nice weapon for the 4 slot on this list. In the 3 slot, we do have the KSP 45 here, but this is a weapon in my opinion that could rise to 2, could rise to 1. It really all depends on how good you are with those bursts and getting those 1 burst kills in the right distances, and your sort of playstyle also affects how good this weapon is for you. If you like burst weapons, if you always get those 1 burst kills up close, this is probably your #1 favorite weapon in the game. Anyway, the attachments for this thing are going to be as follows here. We want to start off with that sound suppressor here for a 100% increase to our muzzle flash concealment, keeping those shots off the radar. Then the barrel task force option, damage, range, and bullet velocity. There's nothing else to really say about this. Just being able to more guarantee those 1-shot kills with a touch increase to our damage, as well as having range, as well as having bullet velocity. Then the underbarrel, again, SFOD speed grip gives us that little bit of extra increase to our sprinting movement speed, as well as a recoil control increase to that horizontal variety is very nice for keeping those shots on target. But because this thing doesn't have a super lot of recoil as it is, you can take the bruiser grip as well for more movement speed stats. Then the handle again, Serpent Wrap. We've already talked about this previously. 25% increase to that aim down sight speed is really nice for getting those sights up nice and quickly here without reducing those very important shooting movement speed and sprint to fire speed stats. And then lastly, the Raider stock or the no stock here. I actually do prefer the no stock on this thing because the sprint to fire speed increase is still the same, but you don't get that little extra increase to our aim walking movement speed, which can actually throw your aim off sometimes if you aren't prepared for it. So choose either one of these options and you'll do fine. The rest of the class setup is as follows here with your powerful secondary. Choose whatever you prefer again. Stimshot, Semtex, and the Jammer in the middle 3 slots. We do take Perk Greed on this because we don't need 8 attachments on this thing to make it one of the best weapons in the game. And we have Flak Jacket, Forward Intel, Scavenger, Tracker, Ghost, and Ninja. But again, choose all of these options as you do prefer. But the KSP absolutely shreds people. 1 burst kills up close out to about 15-20 meters or so is absolutely ridiculous, and is a lightning fast time to kill of 220 milliseconds if you are getting those 1 bursts. So very powerful weapon. Could slide to 2, could go up to 1. Keep that in mind here. In the second slot here, we do have the LC10, which I think is definitely the best SMG in the game in terms of just all-round stats. The KSP does have a faster time to kill, and the AK74u also does have a faster time to kill up close. But when you do get outside of those close range distances, you're sort of lacking a little bit with some of those weapons. And this is where the LC10 does shine here. It is basically a pocket assault rifle. For the most part, that bullet velocity stat of about 800 meters per second really does carry it here, as well as that damage range, which is really ridiculous. I think it has a first or second damage drop-off value and a distance of about 22-ish meters or so, meaning you are getting a 350 millisecond time to kill out past 22 meters, which is very strong in my opinion. So the attachments for this thing are going to be as follows. You can choose an infantry compensator or a sound suppressor if you do like recoil control, really nice. Or if you just want to be silent on the map, sound suppressor is a good option as well. In the barrel slot, we do have the task force barrel again for a damage range and bullet velocity increase. This does give us, as I said, those stats of those damage range values and the bullet velocity of 717 meters per second, which is very powerful for hit detection with an SMG. In the underbarrel slot, again, SFOD speed grip for a sprinting movement speed increase. Really nice option for getting around the map quite quickly, and a horizontal recoil control increase as well. Handle again, Serpent Wrap, 25% increase to that aim down sight speed. Very nice for getting those sights up nice and quickly. And then lastly, in the stock slot here, we do have the Raider stock. But again, this is another option similar to the KSP, how if you don't like that aim walking movement speed increase, it can throw off your aim sometimes. So you can just take the no stock if you just want that sprint to fire speed. Again, as we mentioned, you can take whatever secondary you do prefer, sledgehammer, whatever, shotgun, pistol, up to you. Again, Stimshot, Semtex, and the Jammer in the middle 3 slots. Choose as you do prefer. We only need 5 attachments on this thing, so Perk Greed is very powerful this particular class setup. And Forward Intel and Flak Jacket, Assassin, Scavenger, Ninja, and Ghost here. Again, choose these as you do prefer. But the attachments are just goated on this thing. This is a very powerful weapon in this game. Basically, baby pocket assault rifle with SMG style movement speed stats. Just before we do get into the #1 slot on that list, and I'm pretty sure you would have already guessed it already, but we're going to have an honourable mention here, and that is the Diamati. This is the most powerful secondary in the game at the moment. The AM63 hasn't been released yet as of recording and uploading this video, so keep that in mind. That might be the best pistol in the game after this, but we'll have to wait and see for that pistol. So the attachments that we do want to go on the Diamante are, as we have presented previously, many times before. Sound suppressor or the infantry compensator, this is a choice that is up to you. Then the barrel, the task force option, damage range, and bullet velocity. Then the body, 5mm laser, most amount of hipfire accuracy with this thing is very important to play this like a little bit of a shotgun. Then the magazine, most amount of bullets to fire, very fast reload speed, and then lastly, the dual wield option in the stock slot, giving us 2 of these very powerful pistols. We still delete people up close, which is still really ridiculous, and we are, again, yet to see the AM63 in Cold War. We might see it very soon, so keep that in mind. Keep on the eye out for that. In the number 1 slot here, we do have the AK47, and this thing has the total package here. We get easy to control recoil, fantastic damage range out to about 70 meters, which a 300 millisecond time to kill. As I said, easy to control recoil, good movement speed stats, just a perfect weapon. Bullet velocity, you got everything with this thing at the moment. In terms of our attachments with this thing, we do have the suppressor here for that muzzle flash concealment, keeping us unrevealed on the minimap when we are firing this thing. You do look at the damage range and bullet velocity stats and you're like, well, that can be not good with the suppressor, but it does take the damage range down to 70 meters and the bullet velocity to 877 meters per second. So that's not too big of a deal here. Speaking of, we do have the barrel in the VDV reinforced for a 100% increase to our effective damage range and bullet velocity. Again, that does give us the numbers that we did present previously. This is how we do make our power here. Bullet velocity stats are absolutely fantastic, and damage range stats absolutely fantastic with this thing, with a 300 millisecond time to kill. Then underbarrel again, Spetsnaz speed grip, of course, for a 5% increase to that sprinting movement speed, getting us around the map more quickly. I really like sprinting around everywhere, and this does allow us to do that, as well as a little bit of extra recoil control on the horizontal side, keeps us on target here. Then we move to the handle, the Serpent Wrap again. You can take the Gru Elastic Wrap with this thing if you do want that extra aim down side speed, but again, I don't think it's necessary here, and I don't really want to lose that shooting movement speed and sprinting movement speed again. And lastly, in the stock slot, we do have the KGB skeletal stock here for a sprint to fire speed increase of 30% and 40% to aim walking movement speed. This does allow us to walk around the map with our aim down sight up most of the time, but if we do get caught unaware, we do have that ability to sprint to fire. Of course, get those sights up nice and quickly with the combination of the sprint to fire speed and the aim down sight speed with this thing. Again, similar to how we have presented some of these other class setups previously, you can drop the KGB skeletal stock and take a magazine if you are playing on larger playlists, or you feel like you need more ammo. That is a choice that is up to you here, so keep that in mind. And I feel like that's pretty much it with this list here. The number 1 weapon in the game at the moment, in my opinion, is still the AK-47, a very strong weapon. But the rest of these weapons on this list are all pretty much S tier, fantastic guns in the game. If you haven't tried them before, or you're still waiting to see what rolls out with the meta, make sure you try those weapons out. They are very powerful. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it. Of course, as we said a number of times throughout this video, we are looking for 5,000 subscribers very soon. So if you could help me achieve that goal by hitting that little red button with the notifications turned on, that would be absolutely massive, and it would really help me out. Of course, thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!